Hey, Cowboys Nation. This is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. The Dallas Cowboys defense has officially entered a new era, and the buzz around Patrick Surtain, too, has reached levels rarely seen in the NFL. From the moment the team announced that Surtain, too, would be stepping into the CB1 role, analysts, fans, and even casual observers have been dissecting what this means for the legendary Cowboys secondary. It's no secret that the Cowboys have invested heavily in their defensive backfield in recent years, but landing a talent of Surtain 2's caliber signals more than just a tactical upgrade. It signals a mindset shift. For months, insiders had been hinting that Dallas was looking for someone capable of anchoring their secondary, someone whose presence could alter opponent game plans with sheer reputation and ability. And Patrick Surtain 2 fits that description perfectly. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches, with rare agility and a playmaking instinct that seems almost preternatural, Surtain 2 doesn't just cover wide receivers. He challenges them, disrupts timing, and forces quarterbacks to rethink every throw into his zone. Rumors circulating in locker rooms suggest that his presence has already changed the way practice reps are conducted, with coordinators testing different coverage schemes just to account for his reach, speed, and intelligence on the field. Analysts are now projecting a domino effect, claiming that with Surtain 2 anchoring the cornerback position, the Cowboys secondary could quietly rise to elite status, capable of shutting down even the most dynamic passing attacks in the league. But the story doesn't stop at physical talent alone. Patrick Surtain 2 brings an aura that transcends mere statistics. Sources close to the team have hinted that his work ethic and football IQ are unmatched, often described as quietly relentless, the type of presence that elevates the entire defensive unit. In informal team settings, veteran players are reportedly taking notice, with whispers suggesting that locker room culture is shifting toward a more disciplined, study-driven approach. The Cowboys coaching staff, known for emphasizing film study and situational awareness, are said to be overjoyed with Surtain 2's absorption of schemes, his ability to anticipate routes, and his knack for reading quarterbacks like an open book. Even casual observers are noticing his influence. During early preseason snaps, insiders claim that opposing quarterbacks have already begun avoiding his side of the field, sometimes switching plays mid-snap, a testament to his intimidating presence. The buzz is so pervasive that sports talk radio hosts are debating whether Dallas might finally have the type of shutdown corner that can alter the dynamics of divisional matchups, potentially giving the team a distinct edge in the NFC East. Beyond individual accolades or defensive statistics, Surtain 2's impact seems poised to influence play calling, scouting reports, and even draft strategies, as analysts speculate whether his presence could allow the Cowboys to take calculated risks elsewhere in the roster. Rumors suggest that offensive coordinators from rival teams are already adjusting their game plans, secretly acknowledging the challenge of facing a cornerback of Surtain 2's pedigree and reputation. The narrative surrounding Patrick Surtain 2 also intersects with the broader evolution of the Cowboys' defensive philosophy. Observers who have tracked the team over the last few seasons note a gradual transition from reactive schemes to more aggressive, anticipatory defense, and insiders suggest that Surtain 2 represents the final piece in this puzzle. Sources close to the organization hint that he's being groomed not only as a CB1 on paper, but as a vocal leader in the secondary, someone whose insights during film sessions could shape coverage strategies week after week. Rumors indicate that even seasoned veterans have been leaning on him for guidance, blending his youthful energy with experience-driven tactics. The Cowboys' defensive coordinator is reportedly thrilled, allegedly telling colleagues that Surtain 2 has an instantaneous understanding of complex defensive reads, something rare even among top-tier NFL corners. Additionally, Surtain 2's presence is believed to allow safeties and linebackers more freedom to attack gaps and blitz, knowing the secondary's top cornerback can handle isolated matchups with precision. The intrigue doesn't end there. Insiders whisper that rival teams are secretly scouting tape not only for Surtain 2's strengths, but also for potential ways to challenge him, a clear acknowledgement of the respect he commands. Analysts, former players, and commentators are now speculating that the Cowboys could, for the first time in years, field a secondary that's both cohesive and fearsome, capable of completely altering offensive narratives during crucial games. The rumor mill even extends to trade speculation, with whispers suggesting that the presence of SURTAIN could affect how Dallas approaches other defensive acquisitions, prioritizing complementary skills rather than chasing marquee names. Fans have also been swept up in the fervor, and social media chatter paints a picture of anticipation rarely seen for a defensive player. Insider reports indicate that ticket sales for home games have spiked, fueled partly by speculation over SURTAIN's debut in the CB1 role, with followers posting clips of him in practice, analyzing his technique, and projecting highlight reels months before the regular season begins. Rumors from unofficial sources claim that his leadership qualities extend off the field, with younger teammates reportedly gathering for early morning film sessions, motivated by his intensity and disciplined preparation. The Cowboys training facility has reportedly become a hub of excitement, with staff noting that practices are more competitive, more focused, and infused with energy attributed directly to SURTAIN's presence. Analysts whisper that the psychological effect of a shutdown corner can ripple throughout the team, raising overall performance and instilling confidence in both the defensive line and secondary. Online forums are ablaze with discussions, speculation, and breakdowns, some insiders suggesting that SURTAIN could redefine the Cowboys' defensive identity for years to come. Beyond fandom, the narrative around him hints at a broader trend in the NFL, the rise of cornerbacks who are not only physical specimens, but cerebral forces, players whose understanding of the game can disrupt opponent schemes before the ball is even snapped. In every report, rumor, and whispered commentary, SURTAIN's name comes up as a central figure, a symbol of elite capability, and a potential cornerstone for a Cowboys defense looking to dominate in ways unseen for a generation. Even media pundits are catching on to the momentum, and rumor has it that preseason interviews have been dominated by discussions about how SURTAIN could change the league's perception of Dallas. Behind closed doors, insiders suggest that the coaching staff is experimenting with novel defensive schemes, creating looks specifically designed to leverage SURTAIN's versatility, agility, and football intelligence. The whispers point to zone blitzes, press-man combinations, and hybrid coverage strategies, all orchestrated with confidence that SURTAIN can handle any matchup thrown his way. Analysts on sports networks are reportedly scrambling to update statistical models, some quietly suggesting that he could lead the league in coverage grades within his first full season as CB1. Rumors also indicate that veteran players are mentoring alongside him, blending his natural instincts with their own strategic experience, and in turn creating a secondary that's both intimidating and adaptable. The effect is so palpable that even opponents' practices reportedly reference SURTAIN, with quarterbacks running situational drills specifically designed to test his reaction time, speed, and anticipation. Social media circles are filled with speculation, debates, and even betting trends influenced by the idea that Dallas now possesses a shutdown corner capable of altering playoff predictions. The narrative around SURTAIN is growing into more than just speculation. It's becoming a story of cultural impact, strategic recalibration, and the subtle psychology of fear he inspires, both within his own team and across the NFL landscape. The impact on the Cowboys' divisional matchups is another layer fueling the buzz, and insiders hint that teams like the Eagles, Giants, and Washington Commanders are already taking notice, adjusting their offensive strategies to account for SURTAIN. Rumors circulating among beat writers suggest that coordinators are avoiding targeting his side of the field, sometimes even abandoning routes mid-play, acknowledging the challenge of confronting a cornerback of his skill set. Analysts whisper that this level of respect rarely occurs so early in a player's career, indicating that SURTAIN might not only influence individual games, but entire divisional outcomes, giving Dallas a subtle, strategic advantage. In practice reports, sources note that quarterbacks throwing in his vicinity are experiencing higher than usual incompletions, and defensive coordinators are reportedly leveraging this to experiment with aggressive schemes elsewhere. The psychological impact is a recurring theme in these whispers. Opponents reportedly feel tension when plotting routes and audibles, aware that one misstep against SURTAIN could completely derail a drive. The rumor mill even extends to draft projections, with some insiders suggesting that Dallas could now focus on complementary defensive pieces, knowing their CB1 presence is virtually unshakable. As whispers continue to grow, analysts, commentators, and casual fans alike are fixated on whether this signals the beginning of a truly elite era for the Cowboys secondary, one defined by strategy, skill, and the undeniable presence of Patrick Surtain II, the CB1 whose shadow looms over the entire NFC East landscape. Even beyond the field, Surtain II's arrival is creating narratives about legacy, mentorship, and the future of defensive play in Dallas. Sources close to the organization suggest that his influence extends to rookie cornerbacks, with whispers claiming that positional meetings are now structured around his insights, film analysis, and instinctive reads. Analysts speculate that his presence could create a domino effect, encouraging the Cowboys to invest in versatile defensive backs capable of adapting alongside him, rather than relying solely on traditional man-to-man coverages. Insider chatter hints that Surtain II's work ethic is contagious, subtly raising the bar for conditioning, preparation, and mental toughness across the team. Rumors in fan circles even suggest that his off-field professionalism could influence the Cowboys' broader culture, encouraging younger players to embrace discipline, study, and strategic thinking. The speculation doesn't stop with Dallas. Commentators hint that Surtain II could become a benchmark for CB1 expectations league-wide, inspiring discussions about what it means to anchor a secondary in the modern NFL. Even casual observers are reportedly drawn into the narrative, analyzing his play style, debating potential matchups, and predicting his impact on the Cowboys' playoff prospects. As whispers, rumors, and speculations multiply, one thing seems clear. Patrick Surtain II's debut as CB1 is not just a positional upgrade. It's a seismic event, a signal that the Cowboys' secondary has entered a new epoch defined by skill, strategy, and the quiet but undeniable dominance of an elite cornerback poised to leave a lasting mark on the league. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. As the season approaches, the whispers surrounding Patrick Surtain II's role as the Cowboys' CB1 have only intensified, with insiders hinting that the secondary's chemistry is reaching unprecedented levels. Rumors from team sources suggest that Surtain II's presence has fundamentally changed the way defensive backs communicate during games, with subtle signals, pre-snap adjustments, and intricate coverage rotations now coordinated almost entirely around his awareness and reactions. Analysts speculate that this influence could be the missing element that elevates Dallas from a good defense to an elite unit capable of dictating game tempo. Inside reports claim that rival quarterbacks are conducting additional film study sessions specifically to find weaknesses against him, yet even they struggle to identify exploitable patterns. In practice, insiders whisper, Surtain II is routinely matched against the team's top wideouts in one-on-one drills, dominating scenarios that challenge both his technique and anticipation. These sessions reportedly leave coaches and veteran players astounded, suggesting that he has the ability to anticipate plays multiple steps ahead, a quality that could redefine how opponents approach the Cowboys' secondary. Fans and media commentators alike are seizing on every snippet of information, creating a cycle of excitement, speculation, and debate that fuels the narrative that Dallas' defensive backfield might now be the most feared in the league. Beyond the numbers, the aura around Surtain II seems almost tangible, a presence that forces opponents to adjust instincts, plan differently, and respect the shadow he casts over the field. Rumors also suggest that Surtain II's influence is spilling into the broader strategic decisions of the Cowboys' coaching staff. Sources indicate that defensive coordinators are experimenting with creative schemes, blending pressman coverage, zone concepts, and disguised blitzes, all centered on his ability to neutralize the opposing team's top receiving threat. Insider chatter hints that his coverage grades in practice are off the charts, and coaches reportedly measure his impact not just in pass breakups, but in subtle ways, such as quarterbacks avoiding throws in his area, which in turn opens opportunities for teammates. Analysts are speculating that Surtain II's ability to create turnovers and limit completions could transform situational play calling, allowing Dallas to take calculated risks elsewhere on the field. Off the field, whispers suggest that he is mentoring younger corners, teaching them how to read routes, anticipate quarterback tendencies, and maintain positioning that maximizes team impact. Reports from beat writers indicate that this mentorship extends beyond technical instruction. SURTAIN's approach to preparation, discipline, and mental focus is reshaping locker room culture, instilling confidence across the roster. Even rival teams are reportedly nervous, preparing contingency plans that acknowledge his presence as a pivotal factor in any matchup. These rumors create a narrative in which SURTAIN is not just a player, but a cultural and tactical catalyst, a cornerstone whose influence may resonate far beyond the confines of the secondary. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.